home alone. I'm home alone. You know, I kind of like being home alone because, I don't know, it's quiet, gives you some space to think, but at the same time, you know, I always feel like I need a talking partner, someone who I can bounce ideas off and get some good advice. And so I'm home alone, but I got my talking partner here, Fuzz. So Fuzz and I are chilling out. We're having curry puffs that I reheated because I'm too lazy to try to cook tonight. And we've been talking about some deep things, talking about the historical profession, the profession of being an historian. And so, you know, I've been telling Fuzz that these days I don't know, I feel kind of disillusioned because, like, you know, I got into this field, you know, a couple 3 decades, somewhere back there, like the 1990s, however long ago that is. And at the time I was thinking, okay, I don't know what the future is going to bring, but history is always important. There's always a need for history because it's the most basic form of human knowledge. And so, you know, at the very least, there will always still be people studying history and interested in history. So I thought that way, but then, you know, much to my surprise, over the past decade, we've seen the number of people majoring in history go down and down and down. Then, you know, as I watched that, I thought of another thing. It's like the goal when you become a professor is kind of, or sort of the idea is that you'll be able to do ever more sort of focused, detailed, sophisticated research and writing. And so the more knowledge that gets produced, the more focused individual historians become, the smaller the issues that they look at are, and inevitably then the fewer people their research actually interests. And so, you know, you've got this situation where you've got two things happening. Fewer and fewer young people are majoring in history, and historians are kind of getting ever more sort of limited in what they do and more focused in what they do, and having an impact on fewer and fewer people. So both of those trends seem to be heading in not the best directions. And that's what I've been talking to Fuzz about. And I was like, asking Fuzz, you know, how do we deal with this? Where do we go with all this stuff? And so Fuzz, you know, he channels to me. I go like this, and his ideas, they come into my head. And so I was just channeling what Fuzz was saying, and Fuzz said, you know what you got to do? You got to like look big, look at what's going on around you. And what you see going on around you is something very different from what's happening in the historical profession. And then he kind of went through this whole history of like the digital age, how when people first started creating web pages, they essentially created like books online where the homepage was like an index or like a table of contents where you found the information where you wanted to go. And then, how can it possibly be someone texting me? Man, no one even, okay. And then, you know, they got more visual and started to move away from that. Cell phones came in and people had to think about how do you create, you know, for mobile. Then the content marketing craze came in where everyone's like, we need content. Then UX design came in and people were like, whoa, you got to slow down and think about this content that you're creating and how a user will, you know, interact with it. And then finally, as you got more and more content, you've got content strategists coming in going, whoa, we got way too much content. We got to like figure out how to organize this stuff, how to make it coherent. And so, you know, instead of just kind of creating more and more stuff. So what Fuzz was trying to tell me is that, you know, he said, then he went on and he said, look, you historians, man, you guys are still writing for print. You guys write articles that go into journals that still get printed. And we write books that go to publishers that still print this stuff. And it's a very, very different way of communicating than what's happening online. Online is alive, it's expanding. People are constantly trying to adapt what they have on there. So what we're doing, Fuzz was telling me, is like, not only are we getting less and less impactful in terms of the content that we produce, but just our whole approach is really out of step with how everyone else in the world is producing and disseminating information. And so we were just getting to the point where, Fuzz was about to tell me where we're going to go with all this. And so let me channel this part here. Wait, let me channel it first, then I have the curry puff. Okay, Fuzz, go, man. Really? Okay. Wow. I love you, buddy. I'm gonna do that. First, it's curry puff, man. Sure you don't want me? No? Okay. You surprised me, man.